Teppo and the Secret Ancient City is a 2D collectathon platformer with some very basic combat and platforming elements coupled with minimal variety to the overall gameplay. Throughout the game, you'll step into the shoes of Teppo, an explorer searching for the legendary stone fortress hidden within the Amazon jungle. But before we get started with the full review, if you enjoy indie games, please consider clicking that subscribe button, as I cover a lot of different games on my channel, including lesser known titles that don't get much media coverage. Thanks for watching this review. Now let's get to it. The core gameplay loop is easy enough to explain, which you'll engage in over the course of the 5 included levels. As Teppo, you will play through a level collecting gems and sometimes finding one of the 3 weapons in the game, consisting of bombs, a boomerang, and a shotgun. After interacting with various levers and platforming your way through, you'll reach the end of the level, which is a portal to transport you to the next. Rinse and repeat. There's only one boss in the game, which is the final boss, and for that reason I'm not going to show footage of that fight as to not spoil it. But I'll say the fight is frustrating. But the most frustrating part about it isn't the fight itself. It's the fact that if you deplete your current stock of lives, you'll return all the way back to the start of level 5 and have to clear it again in order to have another chance at the final boss. And on top of that, they don't even refill your health before the fight. So if you are near death, you are better off intentionally depleting your health to spawn at the nearest checkpoint in level 5 before you continue on. Just awful, annoying, and frustrating. Teppo will collect a lot of diamonds on each level. You'll encounter save statues which refill your health and serve as checkpoints. The annoying part about save points is that you can't activate one again. So, for example, if you trigger one and then make some more progress that you want to save in case you meet an untimely demise, well, you can't. This at times results in some significant progress being lost, since they can be pretty spread out. The levels are quite large, so you'll be spending quite a bit of time in each. It took me over 3 hours to play through the game and clear all 5 levels with every diamond collected. It would have been nice if you could activate save points again to log that progress. It doesn't need to refill your health each time, but not being able to save in large open levels where there is backtracking felt annoying when I would die. Deaths often feel cheap, with traps being hidden behind waterfalls and obscured by the drab color scheme. The best part of the whole experience is controlling Teppo, which feels tight and responsive. You can double jump from the beginning and will never gain any upgrades to your health or abilities. The only new items you'll acquire are the aforementioned 3 weapons for the combat aspect of the game. There are 2 sections where Teppo will navigate a minecart through various obstacles to reach the end of that sublevel. These, like the rest of the game, were annoying. I enjoyed these types of levels in games like Donkey Kong Country or DuckTales Remastered, but here, it just wasn't fun. There are no mid-level checkpoints, so depleting your lives, which is easy to do since falling off the minecart track costs you a life, which then results in having to start back from the beginning. There are several partial checkpoints if you fall off, so you won't start the level over, but a game over does result in a complete level reset. The environments throughout the 5 levels are varied and mostly nice to look at, but the core gameplay gets repetitive pretty fast. As previously mentioned, the levels are pretty large and there's no map, so if you find yourself getting lost easily in maze-like levels, then this game definitely won't be for you. You'll encounter quite a few different types of enemies, but the curious decision to make them instantly respawn upon defeating one gets to be stupid almost immediately. It makes the combat feel pointless and not satisfying in the slightest. Teppo and the Secret Ancient City is a game that left me annoyed and frustrated throughout my time playing it, and for all the wrong reasons. It doesn't do anything unique or special that compelled me to want to keep playing, and that unfortunately goes for both the platforming and the combat. Everything about it felt so basic and average that even at its highest points, it simply felt like a very mediocre experience. Its poor implementation of a save system, quickly respawning enemies, annoying level design, and overwhelmingly frustrating endgame made this experience much more frustrating than it needed to be. It lacks any sort of accessibility or scalable difficulty, and forcing the player to replay level 5 if they die on the final boss is sure to turn off a large chunk of players seeking to see the end of Teppo's journey. While I appreciated the art design and the Indiana Jones inspired platforming, it's simply not a game I recommend playing, as its redeeming qualities are minimal. I award Teppo and the Secret Ancient City a very abysmal score of 5.2 out of 10. I appreciate you watching this review, and I hope you found it helpful. If you enjoyed it, please like the video, comment below if you have any questions, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. And until next time, have a good one.